Tennis aficionados, welcome back to the channel. You couldn't have chosen a more significant day to tune in if you're here for the first time. Massive, game-changing news is currently breaking in the professional tennis scene. Additionally, it revolves around an athlete who is totally changing the landscape of Southeast Asian athletics. It's official. It's verified. Filipino tennis sensation, age 20 Alexandra Eala has formally qualified for the Indian Wells 2026 BNP Paribas Open main event. She doesn't qualify. She doesn't depend on a tournament invitation to be a wild card. She is now directly eligible to compete in what is widely regarded as the 5th Grand Slam of tennis. Additionally, she is making her way to the Indian Wells Tennis Garden to compete against the largest and most powerful personalities in the sport. This isn't your typical tournament entry. For Alexa, the Philippines, and the Women's Tennis Association worldwide, this is a turning point. Eala has formally established herself as a genuine top-tier competitor on the international scene, currently holding a career-high rating inside the world's top 40. Just consider the scope of this. The elite must compete in the BNP Paribas Open, which has a huge field of 96 players. Eala is ensuring her spot in a draw with an unmatched field of champions by obtaining direct entry. We are discussing Orion Sabalena, the top-ranked player in the world. We are discussing the second-ranked Instagram Swiatek in the globe. We are discussing American superpower Coco Gauff and the current Australian Open champion Elena Rybakina. Alexandra Eala is now strolling among the titans in the game. As a direct main draw entry with the firepower, ranking, and momentum to wreak havoc in the California desert, they are no longer the underdog qualifier hoping for a fortuitous break. It is impossible to exaggerate the importance of this moment. In order to gain a taste of the main circuit, Eala had to battle her way up through the lower rankings, participate in minor events, and persevere through qualifying barely a year ago. However, she has soared through the ranks following a remarkable, historic run over the last 12 months. She has demonstrated to the world that she is more than just a member of the Grand Slam Champions Court. She is capable of defeating them. The whole tennis world is keeping an eye on her as we get ready for the event to begin on March 4th. Sales of tickets are skyrocketing. Filipino fans living abroad are organizing. And the fact that Alex Eala is a proven box office draw is finally being acknowledged by the global sports media. We'll go into great detail today about how she got here, what we've learned about her current form from her previous struggles in the Middle East swing, and what it will take for her to overcome the harsh desert conditions at Indian Wells. Hold on tight, because we are dissecting every aspect of Alex Eala's ascent, which is currently the most fascinating tale in tennis. We must go back in time and examine the incredible journey Alex Eala has taken thus far in the 2026 season in order to fully comprehend the significance of her arrival into the Indian Wells main draw. Since the turn of the year, Eala has been on a complete tear. She didn't start the year slowly. She made a strong impression. She established a tone of aggressive, unrelenting baseline play by sweeping into the ASB Classic semifinals in New Zealand to start her campaign. She then proceeded to Australia, where she triumphed in the Kwong Classic demonstration competition, demonstrating her ability to perform well under pressure against elite rivals. After that, she made her Australian Open main draw debut. Despite losing to Alicia Parks in the opening round, she managed to keep the momentum going. In order to give back to her enormous local fan base, she flew home and participated in the Philippine Women's Open before quickly packing her bags for the demanding Middle East circuit. Eala really showed she belonged in the top 40 in the Middle East. Her mental toughness was astounding at the WTA 500 Abu Dhabi Open. Everyone recalls that intense, exhausting 3-set match against Alexandra Eala. Eala lost the opening set 2-6. Appeared completely out of sync before digging tremendously deep to win the following 2 sets, including a thrilling tiebreaker in the 3rd set. That is not a sign of a 20-year-old, but rather of a veteran. Alongside Janice Jen, she made it to the double semifinals and even the singles quarterfinals. Playing both sports well into the competition week demonstrates her adaptability and physical prowess, but the true test was held at the Dubai Tennis Championships a few days ago. Her quickly improving ranking propels her straight into the main draw of that esteemed WTA 1000 event after she was first designated as a qualifier. She battled her way to the quarterfinals, securing a much-anticipated matchup with Coco Gauff, ranked 4th in the world. Now, let's be completely honest about that contest. Eala was defeated 0-6, 2-6. That appears to be a blowout on paper. That day, the Filipina was just unable to handle Gauff's sheer athleticism, her extremely heavy top spin, and her tight court coverage. Gauff's strategy was flawless. It neutralized Eala's aggressive angles and pushed her far behind the baseline. Here's why, though. That defeat is a huge step forward for Indian Wells. Eala displayed impressive maturity during her press conference following the game. She offered no justifications. She made it clear that there was a difference between her present skill level and the top 5 players in the world. She mentioned that she now has time to reorganize, re-evaluate, and start over. She understood that closing that gap was more about developing experience against that particular stifling style of play than it was about lacking talent. You can be sure that Eala and her coaching staff at the Rafendal Academy have examined every single frame of that video, and Goff gave her a lesson. This leads us to the circumstances that await her in California. There are no other tournaments on the calendar like the BNP Paribas Open. The Indian Wells Tennis Garden's hard courts are infamously sluggish and grip-filled. The ball bounces extraordinarily high because of their grip. Additionally, the ball can travel through the airspace more quickly before biting into the court due to the dry desert air. Extreme physical endurance, flawless footwork, and the capacity to set your own pace are necessary for this special combination. If they are unable to adapt, players who primarily rely on flat, rapid hitting frequently fail in this situation. These circumstances can actually work in Eala's favor because she has spent years honing her big topspin forehand on Spanish clay courts. She will have more time to set up her strong ground strokes and control play from the middle of the court thanks to the high bounce. She also doesn't have the mental and physical fatigue from competing in the qualifying rounds when she arrives at Indian Wells. She has worked so hard to earn this privilege. She struggled to qualify for the 2025 Miami Open last year before making her incredible, historic run to the last 4, where she stunned everyone by defeating Madison Keys, Yelena Ostapenko, and Iga Swiatek. She shot up from outside the top 140 to the top 75 with the run. Bypassing the qualifying completely, she is now comfortably positioned within the top 50. She will therefore be more rested, sharper, and accustomed to the desert atmosphere when she shows up for the first round. The significant cultural and commercial change that Alexa is bringing to the WTA Tour must also be discussed. There is much more to what we are seeing than just tennis. Her drawing power has been openly likened to that of boxing legend Manny Pacquiao during his prime by tournament planners in Doha, Dubai, and Manila. Although that is a startling comparison, the figures support it. Lines to see her practice sessions at the Australian Open earlier this year were longer than those for some of the main draw events. With interaction rates that completely beyond the WTA average, she has built an Instagram following that is close to 1 million. She is attracting audiences comparable to those of Aryna Sabalenka and Novak Djokovic. This is due to the fact that she has the fervent support of the whole Philippine people, as well as a sizable and devoted international diaspora. She will be doing more than simply playing tennis when she takes the court in California, a state with a sizable Filipino-American community. She's going to host a game at home. There will be an incredible vibe in those stadiums. And it is a weapon you can't measure on a stat sheet for a player who capitalizes on the momentum of the crowd as well as Eala does. But there is no denying that the pressure is increasing. Real tennis observers understand that progress is a marathon, not a sprint, despite the enormous expectations of her supporters, many of whom are wanting Grand Slam victories right now. Coco Gauff skillfully took advantage of Eala's transition game to the net and her second serve, 2 technical areas that she still has to work on. She should aim to establish her position, earn important points, and demonstrate that she can regularly defeat players ranked lower than her while taking on the sitting titans at Indian Wells rather than necessarily winning the entire competition. As the main tournament begins on March 4th, every match she plays at this WTA 1000 level is a deposit into her seasoned bank. For Alexandra Eala, the stakes have never been higher. On the WTA Tour, she has formally transitioned from a developing potential to a recognized threat. The last test is the BNP Paribas Open in Indian Wells. It's a competition where fakes are exposed and real competitors are shaped by the desert sun. Eala is ranked first. Millions of supporters worldwide support her without reservation, and she has a direct admission. She just needs to do it now. She will replicate the precise swing that made her a worldwide sensation just a year ago when she plays both Indian Wells in the Miami Open back-to-back. There is a huge opportunity before her. Here, a deep run does more than just earn you cash. It guarantees her a berth at future Grand Slams. Most significantly, it continues to inspire a whole generation of young athletes in Southeast Asia, who at last have a native hero playing at the highest level of the sport, and it draws enormous international sponsorships. As we witnessed in Dubai, there is a big difference between Eala and the top 5, but it is narrowing, and with her unwavering work ethic, her ability to analyze her defeats, and the amazing team that surrounds her, it won't be long before she closes the gap entirely. We appreciate everyone's interest in this in-depth analysis. Make sure to press the subscribe button, like the video, And leave a comment below if you are as excited for Indian Wells as I am. Who do you think Alex Eala should draw in the opening round? Do you think she can perform the same magic she did in the Miami Open in the desert of California? Share your predictions with me in the comments section. Until the next time, keep an attention on the courts because each and every racket stroke made by Alex Eala is writing history.